As we all know, the GTA universe is filled with tons of theories.
What am I detecting? Some sort of son I never had bullshit here, Mikey, huh?
But in today's video, we're gonna be checking out 20 crazy GTA theories that might actually be true. Now, we've seen aliens, zombies, UFOs, and even Bigfoot, but today we're talking about 20 GTA fan theories that are even wilder and they might actually be true. Number 1. Deborah killed Floyd, not Trevor. I'm sure you guys remember Deborah and Floyd. In case you don't, let me refresh your memory. Floyd was the poor guy who Trevor used to abuse and even sleep with, and Deborah was Floyd's girlfriend who absolutely despised Trevor. During the mission Hang 10, things finally hit the breaking point. Floyd, Trevor, and Deborah end up in a huge fight, with Deborah demanding Trevor to leave for good. The next thing we know, Trevor's rage got the better of him and he killed both Floyd and Deborah. But apparently, it wasn't the case. According to the theory, Deborah might have actually shot Floyd first since she had a gun, while Floyd was holding the knife, which Trevor must have got his hands on and stabbed Deborah with. The whole incident is reported in the news the next day, which mentions a guy found shot and a woman stabbed, further confirming that this might actually be true. Number 2. Lester knew Trevor was alive. Lester's known as the all-seeing, all-knowing mastermind in GTA, the guy who got tabs on every criminal move in the city. But it turns out Lester keeps his eye on more than his crimes. Some fans are convinced he knew all along that Trevor was alive. When Michael settled into his cushion you laugh, he was under the impression Trevor had died in that heist they had pulled 9 years before back in North Yankton. And well, Trevor didn't exactly lay low. In fact, he went on to build Trevor Phillips Enterprises, a massive operation in the drug and weapons trade using his actual name. So it's super unlikely that Lester wouldn't know about Trevor's activities. It just doesn't add up. But the real mystery is why Lester would keep this from Michael. Maybe he thought he was doing Michael a favor, protecting his fresh start. After all, Michael truly went to great lengths to cut ties with his old life. Also, a little bit ironic considering the name of the channel is Melvin's Enterprises. Maybe this is a connection. Number 3. Michael was never in witness protection. Let's talk about Michael now. He has been telling everyone he's in witness protection. I mean, that's his big story for how he escaped his past life of crime, switched cities, and started living in a big mansion. That's how we went from Michael Townley, the notorious bank robber, to this clean guy, Michael DeSanta. Even his family buys it, but there is a theory that claims he was never in witness protection. Not even close. Apparently, he cut a secret deal with Dave Norton, the corrupt FIB guy who wanted to make a name for himself.
That is a wrap, my friends!
Norton staged Michael's death to claim credit for taking down the infamous bank robber. In exchange, Michael agreed to pay him a hefty 5-figure sum every single month and do the FIB's dirty work when needed. The whole witness protection story was just a convenient lie to explain this big move. And well, my guy Lester knew the truth already. Number 4. Big Smoke at CJ's house. Let's jump over to San Andreas for a second now. Remember that scene when CJ comes back home for his mom's funeral and Big Smoke suddenly jumps out from the kitchen, nearly smashing him with a bat? It was pretty random, right? So what was Smoke even doing there? There are plenty of theories, but one stands out, and that is that Big Smoke might have been there to take out Sweet. I mean, think about it. He's been secretly playing both sides, helping the Ballas take over Grove Street while building his own drug empire on the side. It would make perfect sense if he was waiting to ambush Sweet alone in the house, but unlucky for him, CJ shows up instead and Smoke has to improvise. Or maybe he was just in the kitchen for leftovers. Who knows? What do you guys think?
Oh, motherfucker! I hate gravity!
Number 5. NPCs are being watched by a life insurance company. Now, this next theory pretty much applies to every GTA game, and it makes sense. It suggests that NPCs in GTA might actually be monitored by life insurance companies. The idea is that each NPC has a tiny nano chip implanted in them, so whenever their health declines, it kind of sends a signal to the company notifying them about their condition. And it actually makes sense. How else would the cops magically know when you take out some random NPC in a totally secluded area with 0 witnesses around? The second you, well, remove an NPC, you get a 1-star wanted level and the cops somehow know exactly where to find you. Sure, it's probably just a random game mechanic, but you have to admit this theory does sound pretty believable considering it's GTA. Let me know what your take is on this theory. Number 6. Trevor killed his parents. Here's another wild Trevor theory for you. Some fans believe he may have killed his own parents. We know Trevor had a rough childhood childhood, and he's hinted multiple times that his parents were abusive. During that scene with Deborah and Floyd, he even says his dad wasn't nice to him.
Had a tough upbringing. My daddy was not nice to me.
At first, it might seem like a random comment, but it's the same line he uses with Deborah and Floyd right before, well, ending the argument forever. Given Trevor's unpredictable nature, this theory doesn't feel like a huge stretch. And then there's his mom. She randomly shows up at his trailer one day, and Trevor completely loses it, acting like a child desperate for approval. But just as quickly, she disappears, leaving Trevor searching and crying out for her. Some believe this whole encounter was nothing but Trevor's hallucination, projection of his guilt. Maybe he's haunted by his past actions, like actually unaliving his own mom. Of course, there's no hard evidence, but it's a theory that we could actually get behind. Number 7. Rampages are Trevor's imagination. But it seems that's not the only time Trevor has hallucinated. According to some fans, those rampage moments where Trevor simply loses control and gives in to his anger are also nothing but his hallucinations. Because every time those rampage moments had happened, we can see Trevor shooting NPCs, destroying properties, even attacking military personnel. But interestingly, none of these crimes ever make it to the news. Not even a wanted level pops up for him, which is a huge red flag in GTA's world of instant consequences. It's almost like these rampages are happening only in Trevor's mind, moments where he's imagining giving in to his anger without actually acting on them. What do you guys think? Are those real? Number 8. Niko Bellic is alive. Rockstar is known for dropping subtle hints and references throughout their games, sometimes hidden within the game's digital world itself, like Amanda's secret dating profile or the mysterious family murder incident. But there's a theory that claims Niko Bellic, the main guy from GTA 4, is still alive. Now, if you're not familiar, he was believed to have died at the end of the game. However, if you check out the Life Invaded website in GTA 5, you can actually find Niko's profile listed there. This suggests that he is very much alive, at least up until 2013. It seems like Niko is just lying low, playing dead to keep himself off the radar, much like Michael. Number 9. GTA characters are descendants of John Marston. Now, we might not be sure about Niko, but John Marston, the protagonist from RDR, is definitely dead. But according to an interesting fan theory, the characters in GTA might actually be his descendants. You know how there's evidence that Rockstar games, especially RDR and GTA, are connected in a sort of twisted way? Well, the connection does run deeper. This theory is based on the similarities and traits found between John and the GTA characters. For one, they all have this watered-down version Deadeye ability that allows them to slow down time in their own unique way. Secondly, they also seem to have inherited different aspects of John's personality, like how he just wants to be with his family.
Mr. Marston, so glad to see you. How was your journey?
Where's my wife and son?
How he's willing to do anything for a better lifestyle, and how he has this rough, around the edge cowboy personality. Each GTA character seems to have one of John's traits, Michael being the family guy, Franklin getting the ambitious bits, and Trevor, well, he got all the crazy. And the fact that you can actually choose John as one of your ancestors further strengthens this theory.
You want me to take out a gun and blow a fucking hole in your head right here?
Number 10. Trevor is a cannibal. We all know about the altruists cult in GTA 5, those naked old guys who have a taste for human flesh. But there's a wild theory that claims Trevor is one of them, and it's actually backed up by some subtle clues scattered along the story. The first one is in the scene when Michael, Lester, and Trevor gather at Trevor's trailer to make a plan. Trevor pulls out a bowl of what he claims is a leftover stew and offers it to Michael. When Michael refuses to eat it and suggests there might be something questionable in there, Trevor casually responds that it could be an eyelid before eating away the whole thing.
Yo, bon appetito.
Jesus Christ, Trevor, what is that?
What's wrong with you? That's just a what? An eyelid. That's probably not even human.
Not surprisingly, he ends up throwing up later. Apparently, Michael also knows about this, because at the end of the story, when Michael and Franklin ends up killing Trevor, Michael says there should be a limit, and his limit is human stew, implying Trevor's isn't.
Human stew. That's my limit.
Let's not forget he also brings hitchhikers to those crazy altruists over at that mountain, who then eat the hitchhikers. Number 11. GTA police are corrupt. Now, this is another theory that's been out and around for a very long time. There are many players who believe that cops in GTA games, especially GTA 5, are likely more aggressive towards Franklin because of his color. There have been many incidents reported by players showing how cops would straight away open fire at you when you're playing as Franklin as opposed to other characters.
Fiscal restraint and a closed border are the key to a bright future for America.
Hello. I will mess you up! You are going down!
LSPD, you want a bullet in your ass?
Get him! One move and I drop you. Do it!
I mean, sure, we have heard about them being corrupt, but this just adds more to the allegations we have against the cops in the GTA world. Number 12. GTA Online is testing ground for GTA 6. Now, GTA 6 has taken a lot longer to release than any other GTA game in history, and many fans believe that Rockstar just wants to milk GTA Online as much as they can before releasing GTA 6. However, there are fans who actually believe that Rockstar is using GTA Online as a testing ground for GTA 6, playing around with things that could potentially be introduced in the game. It's not like they're going to use the same assets or those flying vehicles, I hope, but instead features that could potentially have players hooked in the game for a very long time. Could this actually be true? Let me know what you think. Number 13. Why there are no children in GTA. This one is a pretty interesting theory. You know how there are no children in GTA games? And it's likely because of the fact that GTA is too violent to have children, and as controversial as the game already is, that would make things worse. However, some fans think the reason why we don't see any children is because the parents in GTA games, seeing how violent the cities have become, have sent their kids to Bulvert boarding school and bully. Number 14. Lamar was meant to replace Franklin.
Knock, knock.
We all loved Lamar's character in GTA 5. He's funny, unpredictable, and the kind of friend who would drag you into wild situations. Apparently, he had a far more important role to play in GTA 5 as a playable character. Yeah, Lamar Davis was initially meant to replace Franklin at the end of the game. It wasn't confirmed by Rockstar, but we did get like a half confirmation from Lamar's voiceover actor Gerald Johnson, who in an interview said Lamar had a much bigger role in the story, but due to some personal matters that kept him from recording additional voiceover lines, Rockstar decided to change the story of what it is today. Number 15. Ryder wasn't supposed to betray his gang. Let's talk about Ryder. Unlike Big Smoke, he never really showed signs of betrayal throughout the story, right? In every mission, Ryder's efforts actually seem to help Grove Street, and whenever there's a fight with the police, he's right there taking them on. Smoke, on the other hand, always seemed too busy with fast food. This has given birth to the theory that Ryder was never supposed to betray the Grove Street gang, even when CJ gets upset about Big Smoke's betrayal. Universes have heard about Ryder, but some fans think that this means that Rockstar originally planned for Ryder to stay loyal but changed things last minute when they couldn't figure out what to do with him in the end. Number 16. Human experiments in GTA 5. GTA games might not offer supernatural powers, but we've seen aliens, UFOs, and even Bigfoot, so it wouldn't be hard to believe if the game has secret labs conducting human trials. There is a theory out there that says that Humane Labs and Research, that sketchy lab that's hidden behind a perfume company front, secretly conducts researches that are supposed to turn humans into mutants. It even claims that the researchers have given birth to the infamous Red Man that hides in the dark sewers of Los Santos. During the mission where you have to steal some chemical weapons, you can actually see rats and monkeys in cages, which only fuels our suspicion about what's actually going on in the lab. Number 17. Trevor was actually meant to die at the start of GTA 5, not Brad. Yeah, this theory is backed by some pretty compelling arguments. Michael's deal with the FIB agent Dave Norton involved faking his death, so the agent could take credit and make name for himself, and they needed a body to pull it off. We know it ended up being Brad lying in the grave, but it was always meant to be Trevor, because he is unpredictable and a massive liability. Unfortunately for Brad, he just got in the way and took the bullet that was meant to take down Trevor. Number 18. Michael is Claude. Let's talk about one of the most absurd theories that claims Michael from GTA 5 is actually Claude from GTA 3. The idea is that after the events of GTA 3, Claude returned to San Andreas, continuing his criminal life until deciding to enter witness protection as Michael DeSanta for a clean slate. While this theory has some major plot holes, fans argue that they look similar. Claude is being a little skinny back then. They also suggest Claude could have met Amanda during a break from his notorious ex, Catalina. It's a bit of a stretch, but seeing how little we know about Claude, we can't right away falsify this theory. However, don't take this for granted, because I personally do not really believe it to be completely true. Number 19. GTA characters represent 3 generations of GTA. Now, we've heard about the theory that suggests GTA characters represent the different types of GTA players, but there's another theory that suggests how Trevor, Franklin, and Michael each represent different eras of the GTA games themselves. Trevor portrays the chaotic spirit of the early GTA games 1 and 2, showing the pure chaos of that era. Then Franklin embodies the 3D era, especially San Andreas, struggles with his rags to riches journey from the streets to living in a big mansion. Finally, Michael reflects the HD era's darker, complex stories, much like Niko Bellic and GTA 4, where the focus is on personal struggle and moral dilemmas. Number 20. Brucey Kibbutz is gay. Brucey Kibbutz from GTA 4 is a steroid-abusing alpha male with a big ego that's tied to his masculinity. How do we know this? Well, his super big arms don't really make him that good of a fighter, which is a bit weird.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you show me that again?
But there's also rumors about him being gay when Niko meets Brucey at the mechanic and starts talking about Roman Brucey. He says something that sounds very suspicious.
Well, Roman said maybe you needed some help and we need some money real bad.
Shit, my bad. Yeah, of course. Love that guy. Love him. I mean, I am no chubby chaser, but if I was and a queer, I'd be in trouble, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
let them know.
Hey, I'm shitting with you. Brucey likes pussy. Remember that, right?
Okay.
He does pretty much act like this throughout the entire story, pretending to be very tied with his masculinity.
What's your problem, man? Nothing. I didn't mean nothing by it. I'm not gay.
But in reality, he's very emotional, and as soon as something just happens to him, he starts crying. This all supports the fact that Brucey Cots might secretly be gay. And that's pretty much all the theories we have for today. Let me know how many of these you have heard before and which one you think is the most believable. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. It really helps out a lot. That's all for now, and I will see you in the next one.